Hi everyone, we need to talk. A lot of comments and questions I have is about the dilution of my paint. You need to understand one important thing. They are not a good or bad dilution. Every dilution is going to be pretty interesting and pretty useful depending on what reaction and what effect you want to have on your miniature. For example, a low dilution is going to be better to create strong contrasts on some of your edges, for example. Very middle dilution is the one I use a lot because it's not very covering, but it's going to create some few layers, and step by step you are going to increase the shadow or the light depending on what do you want. And you can dilute a lot with a very sharp brush to create some kind of shade. Depending on what do you want as result, you can have different way to dilute and control your paint. Today we are going to I'm going to show you a simple practice and training to involve your control. For this practice, you just need bits like that with some sword, for example, primed in black. Some white color. I use some white from Procolor. It's really a good white. If you can find some, don't hesitate to buy it. After that, I use a palette, but no wet palette, a classical palette, just because it's going to be more easy to know if you control in the best way you paint. Wet palette is going to push always water into your paint, so it's going to create some distraction and some different effects. The first kind of dilution is a very low dilution. As you can see, I just take a few color on my palette and I directly am going to apply on the sword on every edges. This is a perfect dilution, a low dilution, to have very strong intensity on all my different edges. So my second dilution is the most effective and the most useful, because I try, as you can see on my palette, to have something pretty transparent, not so covering. After that, I will remove a lot on my hand, and as you can see, it's really low covering, so it's really transparent. And I'm going to apply with the side of my brush and pushing in the direction of my highlight. And in that way, it's going to always let the previous color, and you can push it again and again to create better transition. And I can apply, as you can see, a second layer, but by reducing the surfaces, just to create better transition and more intensity on the end of my paint. So now I'm going to create a glaze by dilute a little bit more than the previous one, but I'm going to discharge a lot of paint from my brush on my finger to have a better result and to have something very, very lightful, so I can come between these two surfaces and apply a layer. We are going to create better transition. So here's the result. I really hope you enjoy this kind of tutorial. Once again, thanks to all my boss to support me every month to create more and more content, and to all of you to taking a look to my tutorial. So see you next week for the next tutorial. Bye bye.